Hello, everybody. I am really surprised and very happy that I see a full room here, even if I'm talking parallel to Palmer and Friedman. I thought that quite nobody would be here, and here are even people standing, so I'm really glad. My name is Urza. I am anarcho-capitalist, and if I talk to foreign audience, I feel a need to tell you two things. First, as you can hear, English is not my native language, so I really wanted to talk to you all, but it's a very big step out of my comfort zone. And the second thing is, if I say I'm anarcho-capitalist, I don't mean Trumpist or Republican or racist or fascist or something like that. You know, in Czech Republic it's obvious, but worldwide is a bit worse. So if I say I'm anarcho-capitalist, I mean lover of freedom. Freedom is absolutely fascinating to me. It always was. For all my life I'm studying it because it's interesting to me, and from that interest became a hobby, and the hobby became a passion, and the passion became all my lifestyle, and now it's even what's paying my bills. And because I do it for really, really long time, people are coming to me and asking me, like, they are telling me, Urza, I read your book or your text or listen to your videos, I agree with you, I consider myself libertarian. However, I don't know what can I do for freedom. And yesterday, such a question was raised here in the LibertyCon, like how to promote freedom. And because I think this is a very important topic, I decided to talk about this. I think I will talk like for 20 minutes, and then we could discuss it together. I want to start with what definitely not to do for freedom. I think any violent way or revolution is not the path how to get to the freedom. Because mainly not in the countries like Czech Republic or this political context. Because if you do some revolution here, I don't know, you can want whatever, like abolish the state or whatever. But if you do the revolution and you want to, for example, abolish the state, you become the state yourself. We see it from history, like those ones who did revolution, they become some tyrants. So when I say this, people usually reply to me like, okay, Urza, if you don't want revolution, you have to change the laws through politics, right? And I say, no. Well, maybe one day, but I don't think it's the only necessary way. And I think it's such an example of thinking in the state box, you know, either revolution or change the state from within. But I think there is also another way, and the way is just to ignore the state. I hope the state will one day ultimately be ignored. And you don't need to even change the laws, you just break them. And you can do it even now to some point. Well, perhaps the laws one day will be changed, but I think it's not the time now. Like, if you want to change the society, I don't think starting through changing the laws is the good way now. Why? Because the political way needs votes, you know? And if you make some political libertarian party, you need votes to get elected. And how many libertarians is in our society? I think not so much. In Czech Republic, much, much, much more than in other parts of the world, but still, it's not so much. Can you open the light, please? Turn it on. Thank you. Yeah. Well, so one day, when we would have a lot of libertarians here, still, you don't need to create libertarian party. And you know why? Because the populist politics would be the first ones who would do it for ourselves. We don't need to care about it. If you would have, I don't know, half of libertarians in the society, the most populist politics would be the first who would be waving the UNCAP flag and say, wow, freedom. They are saying regulations now. Why? Because people want it and they want the votes. So if the people wouldn't want the regulations, the politicians would be saying, wow, let's go for freedom. Yeah. I think political party can be good for spreading ideas. You know, you make some organization and you can be heard in the medias. I don't know, or in the public space, like Students for Liberty, or I don't know, Free Haven, which is organization which I founded for this purpose. But if you are doing it in political party, I think there is many risks about it. And what's the main risk about it? Well, if you don't get the votes, and you want the votes, and you are doing it for many years, you are getting frustrated. I can see it in Czech Republic, and I don't know in your countries if you have such parties as well, but in Czech Republic we have a very strong libertarian community. And 2009, here was even created a political party. The political party is even called a party of free citizens. Yeah. And those people were libertarians when they started it. I said were libertarians, not are, because some of them are not anymore, and those who still are left the party. And the party with this name, like the Party of Free Citizens, is candidating to the next elections with some fascistic national party in Czech Republic. So this is one of many political failures I saw. And, you know, like 15 years ago, I believed in the political path. But the more I see and experience things around myself, the more I identify myself as anarcho-agorist, as well as anarcho-capitalist, but you can be both. Anarcho-agorist is the person who is like anarcho-capitalist, but doesn't believe in a political path. I would express my point with one aphorism I really love, and it's the master's tool will never dismantle the master's house. You maybe know it. It's quite a famous quotation, and I love it because it's quite poetically said. But I can also translate this sentence into Austrian economy language. If I translate the master's tools will never dismantle the master's house into Austrian economy language, I would say, as you can't center plan the economy, you can't center plan dismantling the state. And I think a lot of libertarians are very deeply mistaken in this, because they know that you can't center plan an economy, but they still think that they can center plan the dismantling, the abolition of the state. But the state is so complex structure, and this plan would need decades or many generations. I don't think this can be center planned. And I think the problem is exactly the same with center planning of the economy. And the libertarians see that you can't center plan the economy. That's why they are libertarians usually. But they still believe that they are able to dismantle the state, abolish the state from the top to the bottom. By this, I'm not telling you, like, don't do politics. If you still believe, do it. I just don't want to be part of it. So, what can we do? There is still the question I raised at the beginning. What can we do for freedom? I think it's individual, because the knowledge is dispersed in the society, as Hayek taught us. So I can't exactly tell you what to do for freedom, because I don't think there is some universal manual. If I would know it, I would tell you already. But I think, well, this is a bad thing, but I think there are some ways that we can do. Let me tell you stories about some anarchists. Some of them are my friends, some of my close friends, some of just fellas which I was working with. And all of them are inspiring me in my life. So I can start with Wilder, Paul Lupták. He's here, he will talk tomorrow. And he is a global citizen and ethical hacker. And he is not just hacking computer systems, he's also hacking states. Because he's digital nomad, he's a traveler, and he noticed that each state in the world are taking a bit different freedoms from us, you know. So he did such a mix for himself. He's, I think, citizen of Panama. In some other country, he has his company. In some other country, he pays taxes. In some other country, he pays his, I don't know, health insurance. In some other country, he lives. He's just traveling and taking the freedoms from all the states. And yeah, this guy is talking about it. I think he will talk about it tomorrow. So you can learn from him and do it as well. And also, he is now doing a business like that, that if you don't want to do the paperwork, he can do it for you for some fee. So he's helping like this to freedom for many people who are just traveling the world. Another anarchist I want to mention is my partner, Gabriela. He is mother of 2 kids, and he created anarchist school for them because she didn't want to put them into a state school. And the great paradox in it is that this school is normally registered under the state. I'm teaching there as well. And we are just giving a fuck about laws, and it's really anarchist school. And the funny thing about it is that sometimes we lie about it to the government officers, to the state officers who are checking it. But a lot of laws can be banned, and the most fascinating thing about it is that the most of laws you can just ignore, because nobody assume you would dare. So they are just not checking it. We are just breaking the school laws in incredibly many points, and nobody finds out because nobody thinks that somebody would dare to do this. Another anarchist, also my friend, is a geek programmer / you maybe know him from crypto community. He's a geek programmer, and he's a founder of the first mining pool, Bitcoin mining pool, and also of hardware wallet Trezor. You probably know it as you are using Bitcoins and cryptocurrencies. And it began like he was with his friend Stick, and they needed hardware wallet for themselves. And as they needed hardware wallet for themselves, they created one. And then they find out, okay, people might also use some hardware wallets. So they started to produce it. And now they are producing it for people all around the world, which is great because he's helping with the economic freedom to other people. Then I want to mention art group Stohoven. Well, those who speak Czech are laughing now because, well, whatever. Yeah, the performances of this group are based on civil disobedience. And even if in the last 2 years they quite betrayed all their ideas because they bent a knee and kissed the ring of the president of Czech Republic, which was very hard for me to see. But anyway, all the years before, they were just spreading freedom with this way and inspired me in that civil disobedience, which is, I think, very important. So even if now they needed some media attention, so they even did things which are absolutely contrary to what they were doing back then, I think they are still very big power in Czech Republic, which did a lot for freedom in the years before. I also want to mention Professor Shima. He is anarcho-capitalist. Okay, I suppose this is one of his students. Yeah, Professor Shima is anarcho-capitalist and he's economist. And he is teaching in economics classes on university his students as that one, Austrian economy. And this is the way how he is spreading the freedom, because normally in economic classes you don't see so much about Austrian economy, and he's doing it very well. Or I can also mention myself. I love thinking, talking, writing, making videos, discussing with people, and I'm doing this for I don't know, 15 years, maybe more. And I'm also teaching kids. And in that time, like hundreds or maybe thousands of people came to me and said, hi, Urza, because of you, I see the freedom in different way than before. So this is also what somebody can do for freedom. You know, I think I can see in those stories, I told you a story about six people I told you what they are doing. And you know what I noticed they have in common? They don't try to change the society. They just do what they love, but with freedom in their heart. If I look at that list, Wilder is a traveler. He loves traveling, and he would be traveling anyway, but he finds the freedom in it. Gabriela just wanted the freedom for her kids, but now there are hundreds of kids who can have the same freedom, and other schools who are doing it after her. Slash is programmer and geek. He loves cryptocurrencies, and now he's helping with financial freedom to people all around the world. Stohoven are guys who just like to make mess. And yeah, but even if the only thing what you want to do is make mess, you can use it for freedom, because they inspired me a lot, and they showed me that you don't need to obey and listen to the law. Professor Shima is a professor and economist, and he loves economy, and he's just passing it to the others, to many others. And I would, even in free society, I would probably do something for a living like I'm doing now. I would be making videos, talking to people, just another topic. But I choose freedom as my topic because it's important to me. And all those six people I was talking about weren't like, I want to change the world, I want to change the society. They just came and did something what they love. And because they are free-minded, it turned into something else. They didn't start like from the top, like how can I change the society from the top? They started from the bottom. They started from themselves. Like how can I have freedom in my life? And then they are example for many others. So this is what I think we can do for the freedom. Like embrace the freedom to our lives. And anybody can start to do it with small steps. I know that okay, thank you. Anybody can start to do it with some small steps. I can tell you some examples, but the point of all of this is not just like go and do what I'm telling you. No, no, no. Just find it what you like, and if you start to do it, then everything what you do can be turned more to the freedom. So, for example, anybody here, anybody, if he wants, can support a grey economy by using crypto or at least cash, no bank transfers, no receipts. You can do it if you like it. You can also value your digital privacy, use Signal or Tor or whatever. Also, if you deal with the police or other government agents, you don't have to make it easy for them. You know, if you know some of your rights, you can be resistant to them, and you can cause that they would have more work with you, so they can't go to oppress somebody else. You can also resist the social pressure. This is, I think, very important. We are living in social pressure, and the social pressure is telling us like we should obey the laws. But I don't think we should obey the laws. Many people think like if you are a good person, you obey the laws, but I think that good people disobey bad laws. And if you live this, you can be an example for other people who would feel it the same, but for example, don't have the courage to do it. If you resist the social pressure and say it in the society, this can help. Because a lot of people just argument this is according to the law or against the law, so you should do it or shouldn't do it. And you can say, no, I just don't care. I just do what I think is good, and I don't care about what my politics thinks that is good. If you have kids, you don't need to make them obedient. You don't need to put them into school where they teach them to be obedient. You can raise your kid different way. And this is also something you can do for freedom. In general, I would say ignore the state as much as you can. And I don't say resist or be a rebel. Like, you know, if you are a rebel, it's usually end up with like you are against anything what government says. But I am not doing the opposite what government tells me, because then they would control my life exactly the same, but opposite way. But it would be the same measure. Just, you can ignore them and do what you want. And very often, there is no punishment. It's illusion of that. And I'm exploring it. I'm exploring the boundaries, the borders. And I find out that I think vast majority of laws you can just not follow and break with no consequences. Not all of them, maybe all of them, I just don't know how. I hope that all of them, and I hope that I will find out one day. In general, I would say do not obey. Because I think that civil disobedience is not our problem. I think that obedience is our biggest problem. Because obedient people did all the wars and genocides and everything like that. The many, many millions of people have died because other people were obedient to their leaders, not because they were not obeying. And again, it's not like do the opposite. It's like do what you want and find the way how you can live with it. Well, and the last thing is like think about it every day and live it. If you are asking, what can I do for freedom? It's like, think about it and live it and embrace it to your everyday life. Because I think this is the only way how we can achieve something. There is no, I don't believe that there is some universal manual which you can follow and be freedom. I don't think the way is politics. I don't think the way is to try to change the society, because you can't change the society. The only person you can ultimately change is you. And if you are changing yourself and doing what you are doing with the passion for liberty and for freedom, I believe that this is the way how you can be an example for other people. So, this is all what I wanted to tell you. And now we can discuss it, if you want. We can discuss whatever of this, what we said here. You can disagree with me, or you can, I don't know, say that I know the political way, I know how to change it from the top to bottom, or, and I would probably prefer it, we can find the ways, and you can also share your ways how you can be free and how you can embrace the freedom and how you can promote the freedom. So if somebody wants to tell something, it's great. And I want to really thank you, because I absolutely didn't expect it that so many people would be here in so small room when Friedman and Palmer are talking there. This is really something what is touching me deeply. So thank you that you came.
So, if I may, for me, what you and anarcho-capitalism brought me was a personal freedom that I didn't know I could have, and that was already there, ready to be taken, which was kind of raising of them. You know, I always lived in they will fix my life, the state, the teachers, anybody who could. And through anarcho-capitalism and our talks, I realized how much of the freedom I can take just by myself, and that I am the one who lives my life, which is a very basic thought. And I suppose many people do realize that, but for me, I just kind of didn't realize the extent of in which I can just take those freedoms, and that I can be the first person that makes the decisions about my life. And if I want to change something, or do something, or think about something, or just choose a different way, I can firstly do it myself and not wait for anybody to come and just grant me the permission or do it for me. And that was incredibly liberating. So I do thank you for that, and to anarcho-capitalism, and that's what it gave me.
I love what you are saying, and I can say another aphorism about this, and it's freedom is not given. Freedom can be just taken. And I think this is the point of what you said, and
Yes.
thank you for that. I deeply agree with you.
You run a school, and I'm just wondering, what do you teach in that school that you would say is better than what's taught in the regular schools? How do you prepare kids for life?
Yeah, it's not about what we are teaching there, but also this would be for another whole presentation. But if I put it in a nutshell, the main difference is that we are not making the kids obedient. We don't want them to obey, not at all.
What does that look like? Can you give me an example of like?
Yeah, I will give you an example. They just don't have to go to any lesson. I, as a teacher, can't tell them what to do as well as they can't tell me. We are equal. So I am not just saying, now you go. We don't asset there at all. So, and we should by the laws, but we just don't. We don't asset our students at all. We are not telling them what to do, and we are leaving the full responsibility and full freedom to them, what they want to learn, when they want to do it, how they want to do it, where they will be, what they will do. We are not even putting them into some classes. They just can be there with any age group as they want, and they cannot go to any lessons if they wouldn't want to. They just have real freedom there. So, but I think the main point, yeah, we are also teaching there some other things which are not normal on other schools. I mean, at normal schools, it's like it's focused on the outer world, like math or language or geography or history or whatever. But this school is also focused on the inner world, like the emotions, the communication, like relationships and so on. But I think this is not the main point. This is good, but this is not the main point. The main point is that the kids don't obey. And I think that the state school system is built on it's making the kids obedient. Like you obey the teacher like some stranger you don't even know, and you obey him, and then you need somebody you would obey. It can be politic or policeman or whatever. But if you don't teach the kid to obey since they are young, they just then don't obey even when they are old. So this is the point of the school. That's why I call it anarchy school.
Are there any more questions?
I have a question. So you said that many laws can be broken because no one checks, because there is assumption that nobody would dare.
Yeah.
So my question is this scalable to a higher level? Because if more people take you as an example and start acting in your way, don't you think that might actually cause the state to start checking? Because this illusion that nobody would dare will be broken?
I'm finding out, you know. When I said I am studying freedom for all my life, this is one of that stuff. That's why I'm saying it here, and then I will put the record of it to the internet. And I'm doing this for years. And I'm finding out. This is my way how to find out the answer to this question. I don't know. I'm not sure. I think that it's possible because but I don't know for sure. But you know, the state and the government and the laws are so fucking complex, and there are so many that they just can't watch off all of it. So if there would be a lot of people like me, anybody would do their stuff in some other laws. So they, for example, can find out in something and start to watch it more. Yeah, this is possible. But there is a lot of other ways. And the laws can be also bent. Like, example, we are not asserting the kids. We are, because it's just against our values. We don't want to, we don't think we are therefore asserting them, like giving them marks and so on. But the laws is saying us that we have to do it and that we have to give them marks. We at first don't do it, and at second they have to have marks because of the laws. So we are just saying to the kids, tell me what marks you want and I will write them there. And so they have marks, but they are choosing the marks themselves. And they are choosing them absolutely randomly, like, I like this number, so give it to me there. One little kid came in and say, I want to have the grade 8 of all the subjects, but in Czech Republic it's not possible, it's just for 1 to 5. So we explained him that he can't have 8. They just really don't give a fuck about it, about it marks they have. So this is, for example, the way we do that, and there is a lot more we do that on that school. Like, for example, of course, it's not allowed for the kids to sleep there as they want and to live there, for example, and they do it anyway. And there is just a lot of stuff we do there, and we just can't, and usually they don't figure out. And when they figure out, we will find out what to do with it then. And I think it's because if you have the anarchists who really need it and really love the freedom and really live it, and then you have some government agents, officers who should check it, I think the motivation at the anarchists are much higher than at the officers who are pissed about their work, you know. And I think it's something like if you have a war, for example, and on the one side there would be some people who are defending their homes and they are really motivated, and on the other side are people who were just sent there. And the moral of that sides is really different. And I think it's similar in this, like if it's our lives and we need to live it and it's really important for us, we have much bigger momentum and motivation than the officers who come there, and we are dealing with them and talking to them like they usually want to disappear as fast as possible. This was the last time, because, for example, I don't know how it's in other countries, I suppose, as well, but here in Czech Republic there are some officers who are coming to school and checking how the school is doing, you know. And usually the people are trying to, in the schools, they are trying to, like, oh my God, here you have food, and here you have water, and do you want a coffee, and whatever, and please just be nice to us. And when they came to us, the Gabriela just said, give them one cold room, switch off the radiators, and give them just the papers and just nothing more. And if they ask something, if the law is saying it to us, give it to them. Don't talk to them, don't give them anything more than is needed. And they just were there, and they weren't so much comfortable there, and they just wanted to leave to somewhere else when they give them the food, and they were like, oh my God, please, please, please. So if you don't piss them off, but you make it hard for them. This is what, as I was saying, like if you are dealing with some government agents, don't make it easy for them. So if you don't piss them off that they would want to revenge, but still you don't, they feel they are not welcome, it's just job for them. So they left as quickly as possible.